You have to do it several times for us to...
For you to catch it, huh?
Besides, we don't remember what you did.
Okay, well that half time I don't remember what I did last week. But it can gather just on its own. The first thing you want to do is I usually put it in left needle position. You want to change your length up as high as it'll go. So I put mine to 5 and change the tension up as high as it'll go. So mine is on 9. And then you put it underneath the foot. The foot has a little slot in there where you can attach it to whatever you're ruffling to your garment at the same time, which I'll show in just a minute. But you'll put it underneath the foot and then just hit start. And it just gathers. A pretty tight gather. If you wanted a little more, you could hold your finger behind the foot and it kind of just shoves the gathers to the front. And it gathers up your fabric. Works really well for thin cotton.
Can you make it a loose?
You could pull it out a little bit. You would need to make sure you have enough tail left of thread because I cut mine with the cutter so it would just come undone.
And what are your settings for that?
This is, I put the length up as high as it'll go. Mine will go up to 5 and the tension up as high as it'll go. So I put mine on 9 and this is the Elagio Plus. Okay? Now, I attached it by putting one piece through that little groove. I may have to undo this one real quick. Now, the piece that I'm ruffling goes face up underneath the foot. The piece that I'm putting it to goes face down through that little slot. This is where it takes a little bit of practice doing these. Not usually going to happen right away, but especially trying to keep it all even and your ruffle in exactly right spot. Okay. Needle down and then hit start. And it's ruffling up the bottom one and attaching it to the top. Like I said, it takes a little bit of getting used to. Mine's not going. It's not moving. There it goes. But it attached it to the piece. Like I said, it takes a little bit of getting used to. I got a little off here, as you can see. Now, if you took that same piece and put it face up underneath and another slot in the slot, we'll have our ruching or our puffing, whichever one you want to call it. And make sure your needle is in left needle position because center needle just makes it too close to the edge and it will fall off. This takes a lot of practice.
You could also go slower, maybe.
Well, part of ruffling is the speed of the machine, too.
Yeah, it needs the speed to help ruffle it along.
Okay.
But there's your puffing.
Let me see. It's cool.
It is, isn't it very pretty? So, there's that. Now, and
that you're gathering, how much longer do you need to cut it? Is it
I would just cut extra. I would at least 2, maybe 3 times. At least 2.
It's so tight, I figured it might even be.
But you can always cut off what you don't use. So, now the next thing I wanted to show was another little. I'm sticking in with my last few times that I've done the flowers. The box pleat flower that we did, and then last week we did the frayed, or last time we did the frayed denim. Just cut a strip, fold it in half, round off your corners. Fold it in half and then put it in there, and let's see if it'll gather it up for me. And then when you roll it from one end, just roll it in. Then you have a pretty little rosette. And then you would just sew across the bottom down here to have your little flower rosette. Okay? And you can do shirring. And what you'll do there is do a row. Come back and do the next row. Come back and do your next row. Come on, keep going. My ruffles are wanting to. Come on. You can just keep doing rows and rows and rows of that to give it that smocked look. It's wanting to jam up on me.
Doesn't want to take two levels or layers. It's just like one only.
It should do it though. It's
Yeah.
not wanting to go through. So you have rows and rows of shirring.
That's cool.
Then you can come back on top of that with one of your decorative stitches. Okay? So that's the gathering foot. It's going to take some practice. It's not just one of those that you just sit right down and get it. So I would say get some muslin and practice.